This is my code. This is what I live by. Here are my 15 tenets of life, and you can take this any way you want, and you can hopefully apply some of these to yourself to truly be a better person each and every day. This is what I go by. This is what I live by. And, I actually, on my phone, I have a big notes section in my notes where it's just information, and it's just, how to live life, tips, notes from books, and all this stuff. And there's a lot of wisdom in there. And, maybe I might share some more things from those notes. But these 15 tenets are something I made a few months ago. And this is what I'm building my life around. And this is one small aspect of this notes that I have that on my phone, which are just filled with all this wisdom. So I'm going to share this with you, and this will be the first thing that I share with you from my notes on my phone. So here are my 15 tenets of life. Number 1, accept Jesus Christ into your life and put your faith in him. So everything that I do in my life is backed by faith, is backed by God. All the wisdom I have, all the knowledge I have is backed by God. It's backed by Scripture. It's backed by the teaching of Jesus Christ. And everything I do seeks to glorify his name and do it in the best way possible. There's really nothing else to it. If you don't have the foundation, Christ is the foundation. If you don't have the foundation, you can't build yourself up. Your foundation can't be yourself. It can't be the world's things. It can't be materialistic things that will lead you to destruction and lead you to crumble. Your foundation has to be something spiritual. And of course, God, being the ever-knowing, all-omnipresent, all-powerful God that he is, he has the power to change me if I give him the glory, if I give him thanks, if I give him the credit for all the great things of my life. So if I do that, I know that I will be great in my own regard. But of course, everything here, it is backed by Christ. It is kind of just like Christ is the foundation for all of these tenets and all of the way you should live your life. And it's the way I live my life. And of course, that is why it is the first one. 2, don't focus on what doesn't help or serve you. So we focus on a lot of crap, man. With the internet and with video games and social media, all this stuff, you're just scrolling and then you're just watching stuff and it doesn't help you. It doesn't help you in any way. You're just consuming, you're wasting time. And I found myself, I do that way too much, even to this day. So to write this down, to say, yes, don't focus on what doesn't help or serve you. Instead, focus on what does help you, what can actually help you grow, the things that you should go and pursue that will help you do better each and every day. Because whenever you fill your mind with garbage, that's what you'll be thinking about. You won't be thinking about the important things, which are the most important things of life to, reach a certain level, a certain echelon of success in life. And to do that, you have to focus on the right things. You have to be laser focused, right? When I was in Portugal, I need to be laser focused on football, on my dream. And when you have a job, you have to be laser focused on getting the work done. When you're in school, you have to be laser focused on studying and passing those exams. Otherwise, you're not really going to do that well. Or you're just going to, meander by and just, coast, right? You're going to coast. And that's not going to get you anywhere. Coasting is not going to get you anywhere. You have to go above and beyond, and you have to really learn to be obsessed with your craft. But if you're putting focus on other things, it'll ruin that level of obsession. And it's a distraction, really. No more than a distraction to your greater goals. 3, don't spend time hating other people. That's a waste of time. Hating others is just such a negative thing. And sometimes I fall into it, of course, because we're all human. And I see when other people hate me, just how sad it is and just how kind of meaningless it is. It's a waste of time. The internet also has a very big culture of just commenting hate and just hate, right? Nothing, never anything nice, right? So for me, it's just a waste of energy. Why would I waste my energy hating someone or responding to someone hating on me when that's their problem? Why would I waste my energy? I can put my energy into better things, to bigger, better things than wasting time hating others. It's a bad thing. God doesn't like it, first and foremost. You have to love your brother, love your neighbor as yourself. First of all, from a biblical teaching standpoint. And just also, it's just a waste of time for you to hate anyone anyway. So That's what I live by. Just don't do that, right? Don't hate people. If someone wrongs you, if someone hurts you, don't hate them. Instead, forgive them, pray for them, that whatever thing they're dealing with that caused them to hurt you. Hurt people, right? They will hurt you, right? Like they will, like, people will hurt you in life, and don't hate them for it. It's hard because human emotion, right? But if you can forgive them, if you can pray for them, it'll allow you to be stronger. It'll allow you to focus on the better things, the positive things, rather than the negative things. 4, do hard things every day. Specifically, the difficult things that you don't want to do. That is where the growth is. The growth is in the suffering. I've talked about this many times. It's in the pain, and it's in that pursuit. That thing you don't want to do, that you really hate doing, is where you will have the most growth. I'm trying to think of, yes, that's the quote. I was trying to think of the quote. The magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. So truly, that stuff that you're avoiding because you really don't want to do it, that project, the studying, the exams, that that new hustle you want to start, the new business you want to start, going to the gym, all that stuff, working out and pushing yourself in ways that you don't want to push yourself, having that difficult conversation. You don't want to do any of these things. But in life, that's how you get better. That's how you grow, is by doing every single one of these things every single day on a consistent basis. You can't just do it once. It won't stick with you. It'll stick with you if you pursue the difficult things you don't want to do each and every day. And that's what I strive to do. 5, have the right circle of people around you. This is important. Network truly is net worth. The people that you have around you, the people you surround yourself with, the influences you have around you. I admit, in my life right now, I don't really have that group of, killers, group of guys that we're all going to be successful together, admittedly, right? But I'm working on it, right? I'm working on growing myself, growing my skill sets, so that maybe I can attract some of these, more high value individuals. Not to insult the people that I'm currently with, but the point is, the people around you help you grow. And you are truly the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you spend time with people that just play video games, are lazy, don't do anything all day, are lazy, don't even want to go to the gym because they're lazy, they're sitting on their couch potatoes, then that's kind of the culture that you're cultivating for yourself. If your closest friends and closest people are people that are grinders, hustlers, workaholics, ready to grind and work hard every day, and they have goals and dreams and want to achieve big things, you will also be inclined to go out and do those big things as well. So you bounce off people, right? By yourself, you can't really do anything. You have to bounce off people, and it's the right people in your inner circle that will allow you to bounce off of them and truly do better every day in yourself. 6, be grateful for what you have, not envious of what you're missing. This can be very tough. It can be very tough. You can see on the internet some guy with some fast cars or a big house, and it's the jealousy that's like, oh, I want that, right? Though I want that, and I don't have it, and I'm mad that I don't have it. That can be a very negative feeling to fall into. Instead, and this is what God teaches us, that there's always something to be grateful for each and every day. That's what religion teaches us. That's what scripture teaches us, that you give the glory to God, you give thanks to him, because there's so much to be grateful for every day. And I like to say that if I make it successful, I'm thankful for the success. If I don't, I'm thankful for every other amazing thing. There's always amazing people you can be thankful for, food on the table, roof over your head, things you take for granted. There's always something you could be thankful for, because there's so many people in this world that don't have the things that you have, even if you're not as successful as you want to be yet. And being envious of what you're missing is just a negative emotion that will lead you to destruction, and it will lead you to just constant pursuit and constant workaholic mentality, and that's just a terrible thing to have. Instead, be calm, be humble, be grateful for the great things that you have, because God's giving you great things regardless of what stage in life you're in. Just being alive, just waking up in the morning, just having the gift of life, having the gift of a new day. That's a gift in and of itself, and you have to be grateful to that, be thankful for it, rather than being sucked into this culture of wanting more, and always wanting this new thing, this new car, whatever the whatever the want is, instead of focusing on the envy and jealousy that comes from wanting what you don't have, the coveting is the biblical term for wanting something that you don't have. Instead of that, and that will lead you to destruction, pursue being thankful for what you do have and shift your mindset, change the frame. 7, serve and give generously to others rather than take for yourself. This is important. You will really make it in life if you give. If you give. If you take for yourself and you constantly take, you want more, you want more, you want more, you will be humble. Eventually there will be something big that happens, and that type of stuff creates ego, it creates greed, and incredible gluttonous desires and greedy desires, and that leads to just complete misery in life and destruction in life and pushing away the people you love around you and losing those values that will actually lead you to a fulfilling life, but then rather focusing so much more on yourself. But if you give to others, you give back to the world, give back to the poor, give to the church, even give to your immediate family members. Giving is amazing. The best feeling is when you give. It's not when you get something. It's not when you receive something. At Christmas time, we receive gifts. That's cool. But the best feeling is giving something, and it's especially good if it actually means something to someone and they actually really appreciate you for giving them whatever you give them, right? Whether it's money or food or even just like a present, a gift, a thoughtful gift to your family member. Giving is truly what fills you up. Giving to others, it gives you that inner sense of purpose that you're actually making a difference in the world. And in all that you do, you have to serve others in every way. In the job you work, in the things you do, in the business you run, you have to serve others. You actually have to help people, right? If you're not focused on helping people, you'll get too drawn into, I want the money. You just get too addicted to making the money and closing the sale or whatever it is. And it causes you to be a lot more deprecating of other people rather than humble, right? And that can lead you down a very bad path. So serve. Focus on serving. Focus on giving. It will fill you up. It will give you more meaning. It'll give you that knowledge that you're actually making a difference in the world, which is, again, what we all want, is the knowledge that we're making a difference in the world. Through serving, not through taking, not through being greedy. 8, don't let fear, pride, anger, greed, envy, sloth, or lust drive your decision making. So basically, these are all the main sins. The main sins talked about in the Bible, but the main sins that destroy humans each and every day. Fear stops us from doing the thing that we should do to be better in our lives. Pride, ego, is what stops us from being humble, and it's what sometimes takes us too far on certain pursuits. Anger is what leads us to hurting other people, whether physically or emotionally or mentally or with words, psychologically. Greed is, again, what makes us push too far and get to the point where we become miserable because we've tried to take too much and be too greedy in things. Envy, being jealous of others, will stir unnecessary resentment and strife towards people that will, again, lead you down a terrible path. Sloth, laziness. Sloth is just another word for laziness. Laziness is the biggest thing nowadays because of all the comfort we have. It's very easy to do nothing every day. And doing nothing every day, well, that's not going to give you anything. You're just going to be a worm, a pawn in the system for the rest of your life if you do nothing. You actually have to get out there and do the work, and that's what's super important. Sloth is very, very destructive. And lust, people are destroyed because they go and pursue, they go and they want that girl, right? And they go and put their whole life into a woman that ends up breaking their heart and that destroys them. And it was never in a place of love. It was just a place of, she's a pretty attractive girl and I'm going to go and get her, right? She's hard to get. And playing that lustful game, that will also lead to your destruction. It will lead to you feeling like absolute crap when she inevitably breaks your heart. So you can't let any of these drive your decision making. When you make a big decision in life, and that's what I try to do every day, don't let emotions, it's really just that, it's emotions. Don't let emotions take control. Think about it and take a step back from every decision you're trying to make and be like, okay, is this good for me? Is this not good for me? If it's good for you, If it glorifies God, go do it. If it doesn't glorify God and it's not good for you, or one or the other, then you should probably reconsider. You should take a couple days to really think about it and then make a calculated, logical, proper decision that will actually lead you to doing better and improving and growing in life rather than sinking you down. 9, take 100% self-accountability for everything you do and everything that happens to you. That's super important. Of course, I talk about that, right? You can play the victim, you can be a victim, you can say, oh, poor me, or you can say, okay, it wasn't necessarily my fault, but I should take accountability because it will help me do better. And it's a much better frame, it's a much better mindset than just being the victim, than blaming others, than complaining. No one likes a complainer. People like doers, people like people that take action. And if you take action, you take 100% self-accountability, you hold yourself accountable for things that you should do better in, you will seek to do better. Naturally, you will move in the direction of doing better in whatever pursuit you're on, whether it be physical, mental, school, work, whatever it is. 10, accept that you're going to fail. Focus on minimizing its effects. This is super important. Mistakes, failure is a part of life. Fails will lead to success. Every no leads to a yes. And you will not succeed in everything you do. It's not going to be perfect. No one's perfect, ever, anywhere in life, in any aspect. So understand that you will fail. So you focus on minimizing its effects. What does that mean? It means that if you make a mistake, do everything you can to not make that mistake again. Or do everything you can to not let it affect you in the future. If you start a business, you do stuff for a year, it doesn't work out, and you're like, okay, I want to go and move on to something else. Don't let that affect you. Don't be mad. Don't be sad at the fact that, oh, it didn't work out, I'm not good enough, all this stuff. That can lead to self-deprecation. It can lead to, just you falling into that rut of despair that you don't want to fall into. Instead, understand that, okay, this is just a part of the process. God's putting me through a test to see how strong I am and how faithful I am. So let's make sure this mistake doesn't happen again. Let's look at what went wrong here and let's try and do better for the next attempt. And failure is just your failed attempts. It was just an attempt to being successful that didn't work out. And eventually, if you keep going, you keep striving, you keep persevering, keep being resilient and keep being faithful, you will get to that point where you actually break the barriers. But understand that it won't be perfect, that you won't get it done on the first try, and you have to focus on not letting it affect you. 11, be positive but stoic, especially when it's easy to be angry. I have a small issue with anger. Sometimes I get angry at the smallest things, and it's like, and then afterward I'm like, okay, why am I mad at that, right? Why am I mad that, like, my clean underwear fell on the dirty floor? Why am I mad at that? Like, it shouldn't be that deep. It's just a funny little, I don't know, thing. Like, I just need to control myself more when it comes to my anger. And it's important. Positive mindset and also stoic mindset, right? You don't want to be giddy. You don't want to be like overly excited, because then probably your hopes will be crushed, right? Positive but stoic. You want to have that balance between looking on the optimistic side of life, being appreciative of what you have, being positive of the future, that God does have a good plan for you, but being stoic, being like understanding the fact that it won't be what you want to happen, but it's still a good thing, this plan for you and this idea for the way your life will go. And it's easier said than done, because of course anger is a tough emotion. Anger is a very powerful emotion that controls a lot of people, and me at times, admittedly. But anger is something that you do have to learn to control, because if you don't, then it's going to lead to destruction. It's going to bleed into other aspects of your life, destroy the relationships around you, and destroy many kind of foundations and break everything down. Because in anger, you made a decision that you shouldn't have made, and that goes back to the previous point. In anger, you messed up a relationship. You said something to someone that went too far in an argument. In anger, you just wasted, like, it's just wasted energy. You could put the energy towards the big pursuit, or you could put the energy towards stupid stuff. And that's kind of what anger does. So that's why, positive but stoic, especially when it's easy to be angry. That's a great way to put this entire concept together. Positive but not giddy, not skittish, not overly excited, understanding, humble, reasonable with your goals, with your desires, with your pursuits and your beliefs. And also learning to control yourself in a moment of anger, to look positively rather than negatively. 12, be a sponge and learn as many useful things as you can. This is important. The second you stop learning, the second you stop growing, is the second that you become kind of nothing. It's the second you're kind of accepting mediocrity. It's the second you're accepting being stuck in the same place that you are. You always have to change, adapt, improve, and learn new things. Be humble that you always have something to learn. Don't think that you know everything, because know-it-alls always, end up being hated by everyone. Understand that you will always be learning. You will never actually know it all. You will always be learning. Upon my third reading of the Bible, I'm still learning things that I didn't even pick up the first two times. In businesses, job opportunities, all this stuff, I'm learning new things each and every day that I would have never even realized had I not been open to the idea of learning, being a sponge, and really taking information in and utilizing it and actually using it in your life, or figuring out whether or not it's useful. That's why I say learn as many useful things as you can, because a lot of what school teaches you is stuff that's just not useful, like math, algebra, all this crap. That's not useful unless you're actually going into the engineering and all that stuff. So if you're not going to do that, maybe you shouldn't pay attention to that stuff. Instead, pay attention to useful knowledge that will help you grow stronger. Even some of the knowledge in this podcast, pay attention and learn from the stuff that I'm saying today, as well as many of the other episodes I have that you can, definitely go and watch if you want, rather than things that are not useful. There are things that are not useful. You have to figure out what you want to learn that is useful to you, to your growth, and to your success, versus things that are not. But you do have to have that open mindset to always learning, always understanding that there's more to learn, more to grow, more to give, more to change, and that will help you do better. 13, don't trust anything you see, hear, know, or think. Now, this is a very apocalyptic one. This is like probably one of my favorite ones, just because it's like, I don't know, it's like apocalyptic. It's like, ooh, everyone's against you type of thing. And it's like, I don't know, something dopaminergic about that. But the point here is that it kind of ties into the previous one. Don't accept something as being 100% the truth. Always explore more and always dig deeper to find the real meaning. Sometimes what you see isn't exactly what's on surface level. What you see on surface level isn't exactly what is hidden behind it. For example, I don't know, sometimes you see someone on the surface, they look like this happy person. Inside, they're depressed and they're thinking about killing themselves. You don't know that. That's why you shouldn't trust what you see. Always be weary of that and, be more understanding of certain people. That's the thing. Don't trust anything you hear. There's so much crap in the media, so much fakeness in politics. Don't trust any of that, because it's all fake. It's all crap. It's all designed to keep you distracted from your own personal goals. So you shouldn't trust anything you hear in that regard as well. And don't trust anything you know or think, which is to say that you can always learn more. Anything you know can always be changed. You can always realize that, what I thought I knew is wrong, and this is the actual right way. And what you think, your mind plays many tricks on you, right? Your mind wants you to fail. Your mind wants to consume as little energy as possible. Your brain is very lazy. You have to push through that. You cannot let certain thoughts overcome you, and certain things kind of destroy your beliefs and your own values that come from your own brain. So don't trust anything you see, hear, know, or think. It's always about being adaptable, being smooth, being able to be molded in many different ways, and not just sitting there and accepting one version of reality. Always understanding that there could be something different that you haven't seen, heard, known, or thought yet. Understand that, and that will absolutely have you do better. And again, it promotes that idea of constant change, constant growth, which is, again, what we're trying to do each and every day in life. 14, go against the common grain, reject average, and be exceptional. So do extraordinary things. Do the things that the average person wouldn't do, that you're fearful of, but you push through your fear to do it, right? Another thing that this is like a bonus one, let's say, but fear God and don't fear anything of this world. If you only fear God, you won't have any fears of anything. in this world. And it kind of ties in hand in hand. If you're not fearing anything, you will go out there and pursue those great things. Be extraordinary. Go pursue that thing, right? Go travel to that other country. Go take that risk, right? Go spend that money taking that risk and, seeing if it works out, right? And if it doesn't work out, you have time. You have time to change stuff and improve, adapt, and improve and mold stuff into something better and into something that can eventually work out and bring you good successes and good happiness and fulfillment with each and everything you do in your life. So reject average. So many people are average. So many people are mediocre. The world we live in today is filled with all of it. And media, social media, all the internet stuff that I was, again, talking about earlier in the episode, is designed to keep you comfortable, to keep you average, to keep you mediocre, to keep you hooked, so that you're not actually focusing on the things that are important to you. So to do that, you have to reject all that, reject the average, reject societal norms, and truly go out and do things that, if people question what you're doing, if people don't understand you, that's a good thing. It's a good thing if people don't understand you, because that means that you're doing something that is beyond other people's understanding, because they're average and you're doing better and you're pursuing the extraordinary. And that's what we are trying to do every day, to truly make an impact, to truly achieve fulfillment, and again, to get to the end of our life and say that we did what we needed to do. So to pursue that, to pursue excellence, to be exceptional, is about rejecting the average, mediocre mindset and kind of loser's mentality, and adopt that winner's mentality mindset. Of course, always being humble and glorifying God through it. But you have to be a winner. You have to actually want it. You actually have to have that desire to keep going each and every day and keep grinding even through the hardest moments. But going against what average people do, I don't know, gives you a sense of joy in yourself, that you're doing something that's kind of bigger than the average pathway that many people go through. Right? Go to school, go to university, get a job, work 9 to 5, get married, have kids, and then retire. If all goes well, if they don't, get in debt and kind of waste their lives. But that is a wasted life, because it's basic and it's kind of just going about the motions. Instead of going about the motions, take that extra step, push through those fears and push through those barriers to truly transcend yourself and have yourself truly be that person that is extraordinary each and every day. Strive to do that. And number 15, live your life with the goal of having as little regrets as possible. This really sums absolutely everything up, and that's why it's the last one. It sums everything up. You're really doing everything so that you can look back and be like, yeah, that was worth it. Not look back 10 years ago and be like, oh, I wish I did this. I wish I did that. I wish I pushed through my fears. I wish I wasn't angry in this situation. I wish I wasn't lustful in this situation. Rather than looking back with those negative feelings and kind of, being on your deathbed and kind of regretting your life, you live your life with the goal of having as little regrets as possible. So in every situation, you think to yourself, what would be the thing to do that, if I looked back on it, would be the thing that I would appreciate, the thing that I would have seen as noble, right? You think 10 years from now, would I look back on this time and be happy about it? Be appreciative of it? Be content with it? Or will I look back on this time and be like, I wasted a lot of hours. I should have done better. In whatever aspect you should have done better in. Really ask yourself that each and every day, each and every month, each and every year. Ask yourself that. And if you really think the answer is, yeah, I am kind of wasting my time right now, go out and do something different. Go out and pursue different things. You want to make the decision in real time to do something that you won't regret in the future, rather than making the passive decision, not the actual conscious decision, the passive decision to just keep going and meandering along in this average, mediocre bubble. And only in the future do you look back and realize just how much time you wasted, and you look back on it with regret. So rather than just kind of going through the motions, be intentional, be conscious with what you're thinking, and do things that will be worth it in the long run, that you truly believe that you'll look back on the time that you're living in right now with no regrets or little regrets. That's why it's little regrets as possible, because it's not possible to have zero regrets in life. Of course, we go day to day, we make many mistakes, no one's perfect. But have as little as possible is is the best we can absolutely strive for as humans each and every day. So each and every one of these 15 tenets includes something to do with that, to live your life with as little regrets as possible, to be able to look back on your time, on your days, and be like, yeah, that was worth it, man. Me personally, that's what I do. I'm not in Portugal anymore, but when I was there, man, I'd do it all over again. It was truly amazing. It was truly a great experience. There are small regrets, small things I probably could have done better, specific days where I didn't live up to that ethos. But specific days are better than months and years of just regret and despair because you didn't live up to the standard, right, that you've set for yourself. So understand. And to kind of wrap up this episode, those are the 15. Go through them again. I'll probably make a short summarizing them and repeating them over and over again so that, if you want to go and understand it better, just repeat that over and over again. And, you don't have to take everything, of course. These are my tenets. These are things I live by. You don't have to take everything with you. Take a couple, use them for yourself, and develop your own moral code. Develop your own set of values and write them down as a way that how you're going to live your life. Set that standard for yourself and do your best every day to go out and reach and go out and meet that standard. So that's it. Those are the 15. And always remember that God has to be the power. God has to be the force. Jesus Christ has to be the force behind each and everything. If you put your fear in him and you put everything in your life, you give it to God, he will make all these other things be great in the long run eventually. And you have to truly have faith in that, and it will happen. Trust me, it will happen. And it might not happen according to your timeline. It might not happen in the exact way that you were imagining, that you were visualizing, but it will happen. It will happen that God will make something truly amazing out of you if you can pass his tests of faith. So always remember that God's first, Jesus is number one, and every single thing is with him as the foundation, and you're building upon it to truly give yourself a great life and to truly, live the ethos of being a formidable person each and every day. So take some of it, learn, improve, grow. Again, be a sponge, right? That's what I've said earlier. Be a sponge, learn, grow, improve each and every day. And, improve is like the get better every day. That's like the word I use the most kind of on this show. But it's important. That's what this show's for. To give you some ideas, give you some techniques, the tenets, the principles to do better every day and be better in yourself. To, again, get to the point where you look back and you appreciate the things that you've done, and you really do have a great sense of pride, good pride, not bad pride, good pride in the life that you lived and in the faith that you had.